Next, I'm going to create these circular stops here, circular labels, using the ellipse tool, L on the keyboard, and coming from the center of the circle, I'm going to hold Option and Shift and create my circle. But those are the wrong settings. I need a black stroke that is 1 point, and it needs to be that sort of navy blue in the center. Cool. So now I can duplicate this down the line using Option and holding Shift to keep it diagonal, just like so. One more. All right, so now I just need to change the fill on each of them to reflect the correct colors. This one is red. This one is blue and green and purple. All right, and the letters are next. Okay, Helvetica should be fine. I'm going to say N. Give this white text and make it about size 11. In the character palette, I'm going to change one thing. I had my vertical stretching turned on to 125. I'm going to go back to normal, which is 100%. Now I'm ready to move this thing on top of the letter. I'm going to change it to bold. Yeah, buddy. I'm going to hold Option and Shift to position the rest of them. This is the L line. This is the, what is this, M? I think this is M. I don't ride any of these subway lines. I only ride the N usually. Okay, I can't position it right, so I need to zoom in more. Right about there. Okay, this would be the K line. K Ingleside. And my favorite line for getting to my favorite place, which is Sunnydale, is T. And the final line here would be J. So it's really good to know that duplicate thing with the selection tool, holding Option and duplicating. So much easier to do it that way. So now I got all my shapes in there. Awesome. I can create these arrow shapes the same way by duplicating the circle, changing the fill to be white. And for that arrow, I can go to my symbols panel over here, or Windows Symbols. And up here, I can say Open Library and show me the arrows. And as you can see, there's a similar arrow to what we want right here. And I can just drag that out and then scale it down holding Shift and rotate it 45 degrees. Throw it in there. And that's pretty good. So now I can hold Shift with the selection tool, select both of these. Now I can group it using Apple G, Command G, or I can just say Object Group. So now this thing is one piece. I can simply rotate it holding Shift 180 degrees. And now I can move it down here. Actually, I realized that wasn't perfect. I think a better way to do it would be to click on this, hold Option, and hold Shift when I move it down. Make sure it's perfectly in line. And now I'll hold Shift as I rotate. Cool. That's the arrows. Oops, I realized I forgot this shape stop right here. Make sure I get that in there. One thing a lot of people usually forget on this assignment is to do the tiny little stops right here in between the major stops. And I can see those little stops if I um, hide all the rest of the layers. So I just look at the map image, and I want to make these tiny little things right here. So I'm going to do that next. What I'm going to do is continue to work on the shapes layer. And I'm going to take one of these big guys to work with. And first thing I'm going to do is change the stroke to black. And I think I want like a 0.2 stroke, something really, really tiny. Maybe a little bit thicker. I'm going to go 0.5. Okay, and now I just need to scale it using shift, and then I need to zoom in more. Okay, I'm going to scale it using shift, and then I'm going to use the direct selection tool, A on the keyboard, so select just these points and move them in. And I'm going to hide some of my other stuff so I can see what I'm doing. I'll move this thing over. So it looks like I have the height correct mostly, but I need to fix the length. So I'm going to select these 3 points and stretch it out to about there. Cool. And when I put it on these lines, I want to make sure I snap it appropriately. Right there to the very center. Looking good, and now I can duplicate it. From here, you just duplicate just like you would do all the other stuff.